Hi everyone, welcome back to Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. Today on the lot we have a 2009 Subaru Outback with the standard 2.5 liter horizontal 4 engine. Owner brought it over, said the check engine light was on, and especially in the morning it was not happy. It was kind of shaking, shuddering. So let's plug in the scanner, see what the code is, and hopefully get this diagnosed before it gets dark outside. It is a beautiful evening, last warm day here in Pennsylvania. Temperatures are supposed to plummet significantly for, I guess, for this season. So let's enjoy the t-shirt weather while we can. All right, we got about 98,000 miles on the clock. We're in the codes menu. Let's just go to the generic codes. And the classic P0302 cylinder 2 misfire detected. Make sure we don't have any pending codes. Same code. And just in case, let's look at the manufacturer specific codes. Nothing current and history. There it is. So cylinder number 2 misfire detected. For some reason on Subarus, it's always the number 2 cylinder. I don't know why. Next step, let's go under the hood. Now, I know some people say, why don't you start with a visual inspection? Check engine lights on. How the heck would you know where to start your visual inspection without first getting the scanner out? Yeah. Let's go under the hood. Alright, so we see some non-original spark plug wires. These are NGKs, so that's what I use. I like the quality of these. And cylinder number 2 is going to be this wire here going to the front cylinder on the driver's bank. My favorite initial tool to use on cars with spark plug wires is, I know Keith isn't going to like this, but the water bottle. Scanner Danner's favorite. Not only useful for vacuum leaks, but very useful for secondary ignition problems. So let's fire it up and spray some wires. It's kind of cranking a little weak. This battery on its way out. Is it the Autocraft? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of these. 2012. About six years old. That's not bad. I'll recommend a new battery for them. But it's running fine. Let's start spraying. Holy crap. You guys see that? This whole boot is sparking in like 3 different places. Engine's definitely misfiring. There's your problem, lady. Alright, did I beat Keith's time? That was like a minute. Let's shut it down so we don't inject the fuel into the cylinder and not burn it. So, next step. Is it just a bad wire? Or is something not letting that spark jump through the cylinder, and basically this coil is discharging all this energy, and finally you found a path to ground through that boot? That's the question, because the spark plug wires shouldn't be more than a couple years old. I mean, the car's a 2009 and the wires have already been replaced. Not here. They look like I would have put them on because I used the NGKs, but I looked in my records. I've only seen this car once for like a headlight adjustment, so I haven't really serviced it at all. So let's go for the number 2 cylinder, get that spark plug out, and see what it looks like. Alrighty, so I extracted the spark plug. Here's what the boot looks like. There's some oil residue on there. It's kind of caked on a little bit. And the spark plug itself actually looks very decent. It is one of those long life. If it ends with FR5AP, I'm not sure if it's iridium, but at least a platinum. The tip, there's no carbon tracking on here, which you would expect for a misfire, but we know that the energy was actually going, from the boot to back to the engine there. It wasn't jumping across the porcelain. However, the tip here looks gunked up with some kind of residue. I don't know if this is like excess dielectric grease or if oil got in there and basically burned onto here and then created extra resistance, and the spark plug didn't fire. But regardless, spark plug's fine. I think we need a new wire. We could check the resistance from here, you know, to the end here. See if there's an open somewhere in the wire. You know, there's a rule of, I think, 1 kilo ohm resistance per foot of spark plug wire. So we could definitely check that. That guy there. I mean, the boot is, once the spark jumps through the boot, that, you know, the insulation's compromised. So let's get the ohm meter out. One thing that I did notice when taking the boot off, it came off very easy. It wasn't really clipped into the spark plug, and these NGK boots, sometimes they're a real pain to get in there and boom, you know, click it on. So that's another variable. If it wasn't clicked on all the way, there's a gap between the boot and the spark plug, and the spark can't really, you know, has a hard time jumping the gap from the little spring inside the boot here to the spark plug and then inside the engine, and it just, you know, went through that boot over there. We can check the rest of them, see if they come off super. Oh, see that one? I don't. There we go. So they just weren't clicked in all the way. Well, there's your problem, lady. Come on. Let's see this guy. Super easy up. There we go. Whoever installed these did not properly. Yep, too easy. This one's a real pain in the ass to get in there. Okay, I think we got that one. So right now I'm tempted to actually just clean off the tip of the spark plug, reconnect everything, push that boot back on, spray it again, and if that fixes the problem, then heck, you know, it's done. So I just want to get this baked on grime off of here, and that makes sense, you know. If this really heated up and there's some residue on there, make it nice and shiny. Oh yeah. Sweet. I like it. Now we should put a little dielectric grease, you know, on tip of the boot, because yeah, there's some in there, but it's kind of dry and caked up. I'm going to clean off the oil off of here, and I mean, this thing at 100,000 miles, it's probably going to be due for head gaskets soon enough. You can see them delaminating right on camera. See that guy right there? The layers like peeling off, and there's like sand and stuff in there. That's what happens. The one metal layer and then two whatever sealing layers, and they just don't hold up to this environment. So let's do that, put it back together, spray it with water, and see what happens. Alright, the repair is complete. When I was putting the spark plug in, you know, I tightened it down, and then it actually tightened another quarter turn, which means the gasket crush washer was not crushed by the installer. So this car had apparently the spark plug and spark plug wire replacement, and the spark plugs weren't torqued to spec, and the wires weren't clipped onto the spark plugs. Is it a surprise it's going to have misfires? No, not at all. So I went all the way around, all 4 cylinders, took the boots off again, went in there, tightened the spark plugs properly so the crush washer gets, you know, seated, and put all the boots back on with a nice solid click. Let's confirm the repair. I'm hoping that the boot wasn't compromised by all that sparking, but I don't know. Alright, spray test. Nope, not fixed. That wire is shot. So the only real fix for this car is to get another set of spark plug wires. So once the electricity starts jumping through somewhere where it shouldn't, that insulation compromised, you get a breakdown. So that's the only real fix. I mean, duct tape, should we try duct tape? Oh man, I don't know. It might work, it might keep the moisture off and it won't misfire, right? Watching the last video, a lot of people are like, Ivan, you should start a playlist with duct tape fixes. I might do it temporarily just so you can drive it for a few days, but I'm getting this thing a set of spark plug wires. So Keith will be happy about this one. Alright guys, thanks all for watching. Nice quick Diag. See you next time. Bye-bye. A little bonus footage. We forgot to do the resistance check on the wire. So from the coil end to the spark plug end, 1.56 kilo ohms. That's perfect. The wire itself is fine, but this boot right here is not fine. Even though it looks, doesn't look bad, but there's little pinholes in there that are allowing the spark to jump to this hose over here and the coil itself. So that's that. I guess we could just try replacing the boot end. I don't know if I have any in stock. So in my pile of used parts here, which I don't know why I keep this junk, we have a Subaru elbow that I think is a known good. So we can grab a spark plug wire here. Actually, I don't know if I would have an entire spark plug wire. I mean, these are the short ones for the passenger side bank. Probably not. But I just want to replace that boot. So let's try to get one off of here, put it on there. Yeah, we're doing it, Keith. I know. I don't have a parts store nearby. We're just gonna try to fix the spark plug wire. So this guy is the good boot from the old wire that I had in stock. That's the clip from the wire on the car. This is the bad boot. So we'll put that aside, we don't mix it up. Now all we gotta do is slide this guy, put a little dielectric grease on here to help it out. There. Put this guy on here. Nice and easy. Now we gotta pull it through. The best way to put that guy in the back. Maybe a hook pick would work well. Or we can just try to push it through until it slips past that elbow. There we go. Sweet. Like it. We got coyotes howling in the background. Yes, those are coyotes, not dogs. Finally, we'll put the clip on how it was before. So that black middle part, the actual core, will touch the back of the clip. And we'll just slip her in like this. Yeah, they're going nuts. The Wild West out here. I'll slip that guy in. Finally, make sure the core is in, and then squeeze our wire clip together. Make sure the silicone stays in the clip. Basically make sure it doesn't come off. Alright, I don't know if you guys saw that little process, but let's put a little more dielectric grease on there to facilitate the installation. And slide this guy right through. You don't want to pull too hard on the wire itself to keep the metal on there. Let's try it out. Clippy, 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 and finally to the coil. It's always cylinder number 2, isn't it? Always. I don't know why that is. Probably because it has a whole bunch of stuff right next to it. But that's should be it. Now the boot end, put back on the spark plug. Cross your fingers. Alright, perfect. Get this guy off. Ready? Quite the bonus footage here, huh? Smooth so far. There you go. Fixed. Beautiful. Almost no parts required. I think Eric would be proud. I think he did a on the cheap spark plug wire repair, and yeah, this car will be on the road for a while longer. That boot, perfectly fine. It might outlast the car. It'll definitely need head gaskets before it needs spark plug wires again. But I feel confident now giving this car back to the customer. Let's clear the codes out and call that a fix. Thanks all for watching. See you guys next time. Bye bye.